Hey guys! I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha, and as always, I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening, subscribing, and commenting. I really appreciate the support. And of course, if you guys want to support me further, you can do that by going to my Patreon link. The link is in the description below. And you can give $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you prefer. In this video, I wanted to speak to you guys about this weird tendency that we have as INFJs to not want to brag about ourselves. We have this thing about being humble, about not having pride, and it really is one of the terrible things about us because it means that we don't talk about our accomplishments or we don't talk about the things that we're doing, which means we're terrible at sales, first of all, so we're not good at selling or marketing ourselves. And secondly, it results in people not knowing what we're doing with our lives, which makes them think that we're just wasting our lives away and not really actually producing anything, which makes us feel bad because they make us feel bad. Also, not only that, but the reason why a lot of things that you're doing, they have to be so spoken about because people need to know the amazing things you're working on. It really is one of the cycles of life, right? If I was going to write 1,000 books, but I was never going to publish them and never going to speak about them, but they're really nice books, what is the freaking point of it, right? I hear of so many stories of books that were published posthumously, after the person died, because the mother believed in them, or the sister believed in them, or the wife believed in them, and they published their book, and the book was amazing, and it created a lot of stir in public, and it created a lot of interest, and also it taught people a lot, right? Why not while they were alive? Because they didn't believe in themselves enough, right? They did not believe in themselves enough, and they maybe did not want to brag, or they just didn't believe that their accomplishments were good enough or their writing was good enough. And it just makes me sad because these people did not get the recognition that they deserved while they were alive. They did not realize that their writing is amazing while they were alive, right? And it's not about bragging, it's not about being prideful, it's about just knowing or acknowledging the truth, which is that you're good and you're amazing and you're awesome and you're doing amazing things, and people should know that. Now, of course, I'm the worst at this, and you guys know this. I'm trying to get better at marketing and selling my YouTube channel, telling people about it, selling my Patreon site. But of course, it takes a little bit of time for me to get used to things. And also, I'm terrible, as I said, at marketing. I'm getting better at it, though. I'm getting better at selling myself. But it's funny because recently I was just sitting around with a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. She is one of my closest friends in Chiang Mai, and we were sitting around chatting about something. I don't know how it came up. But she's like, I started telling her that I'm doing YouTube videos. That's one of the things I was telling her that I do in a day. And that's one of the things I do in the beginning of the day. That's my first item. I do that, and then I do my words. And those are the two important things every single day that I do. And because she, I think, wanted to start a YouTube channel, so I started telling her about how I do it, things like that. And so she's like, I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel. What name is it under? I'm like, yeah, just my name, Shikha. And so obviously, as it is, we are people that can instantly grab something. So she picked up her phone and she checked YouTube right away to just see my channel, just to get an idea of what it is about. And she saw that at that point, I had 7,000 subscribers. And she just looked at me like, she gave me this look of not only astonishment, but surprise and a little bit of worry, because it's like, you have 7,000 subscribers and you've never told me that you have a YouTube channel. And I started making excuses in my head and outwardly as well. I'm like, well, I talk about INFJ stuff. You're not an INFJ, so I thought you wouldn't be interested. And I just didn't want to talk about it. And then I started thinking to myself, these are all nonsensical ideas and nonsensical reasons. They're not the truth. The truth is I didn't want to brag about it. I didn't want to talk about it because I felt like if I talked about it, that I would be pushing myself forward and saying, oh, look at me, I'm so cool. And that's something that I did not want to do because as an INFJ, you guys know this already. We don't like bragging about ourselves. And as I said, it's one of the things which is terrible because we're not really bragging if you think about it. If I said, oh, I have a YouTube channel, I'm not bragging. They could check on their own how many subscribers I have. And I don't tell people how many I have or what I do with it. People tell me. Like when I reach 7,000 subscribers, people actually message me saying, oh, you reached 7,000. I was like, all right, great, cool. I never even check because that's not the reason I'm doing this. Now it's nice to get 7,000 subscribers and now I have 7,600 while I'm filming this, which is great. I mean, that's awesome. These are 7,600 people that thought that my content was good, and I appreciate each and every one of them. But it's the tendency that we have as an INFJ not to talk about our stuff. Now, I'm not saying that all of your stuff has to be amazing, perfect, awesome. For example, recently 6 months ago, I started doing voice lessons. And, I've been singing, and I just recently, after 6 months, shared one audio of me singing with my mother, right? And she listened to it, and she's like, "Who is this?" And I'm like, "It's me. I'm singing." Hello. And she's like, you are singing this. This is your voice? And she could not believe it. She sent it to everyone that she knew. And I was like, yeah, it was just an audio. It wasn't a video of me, so I guess it makes sense. But I was surprised. And she was so happy. She's like, "Wow, you've done really well. Your singing is going really well. Your voice is so beautiful and sweet. And keep on going. Awesome stuff." And I was like, 6 months it took me to get to this point where I could share my voice with my mother, who is one of my ardent supporters, right? And so, I mean, of course, I didn't share it with anyone else. And I barely share with anyone I really know that I like to sing, that I go to singing lessons, etc. But this is what I'm talking about, right? And these are just 2 examples from my life. And I'm one INFJ. And I bet you, if we spoke to every single INFJ who's listening to this, they would have a dozen examples of things that they're doing, amazing things they're doing with their lives that they haven't spoken to anyone about, right? They might have given $1,000 last month or $10,000 last year to charities, but they don't talk about it. Or, I mean, that's not something that we do because we want to talk about it. But in general, I feel like I wish that we spoke about the things that we do more often. And of course, if you guys want to share things, amazing things you're doing in the comments below, I'd love to hear from you guys. As like a share between us, I'd love to hear what amazing things you guys are up to. Even the smallest things I care about, because it matters. These are things that we're interested in. And as an INFJ, you guys know we don't go halfway on things. If we're going to do something, we're going to do it. Even if we do it terribly, we're still going to do it, right? Even if I sing terribly every single time I go to my voice lesson, I still did it in the beginning, right? And I still went every single week, and I improved, and now I'm here where I am, where I'm still an amateur, but I'm much better than when I was before. And also my confidence level is very high, higher than before. And so I really want us as an INFJ, of course, my thing is going to be, I want us to share our accomplishments a bit more. And I'm saying it from a place where I don't do it that often either. So I'm saying it for myself as well. I am not saying it from a place where I do it and you should do it too. I don't do it. I know I need to do it more often because people need to know. You'll hear some other people talking about the littlest of things they do. They might take a shit and they'll talk about it. And I'm like, is that really an accomplishment? Now, of course, I'm kidding. But like literally, those are the kind of people we're surrounded by. People will do the smallest of things. They'll pick up a piece of garbage and throw it in the garbage can. They'll be like, "Look at me, I did this. Look at me, I'm so cool, la la." And they'll advertise it in the newspaper and they'll talk about it for hours and hours and hours on end. And then we will do amazing things, amazing, awesome, beautiful things, and we won't even say a word about it, right? Now, sometimes we're doing things just for ourselves, and that's okay. Whenever I give to charity, I don't want to talk about it because I'm doing it for myself. I'm doing it for the other person and for myself. That's okay. I'm not saying talk about everything that you're doing, but don't keep everything to yourself either, right? I mean, the fact that my best friend, one of my best friends in the world, doesn't know that I had a YouTube channel is kind of weird, right? Why did I not talk about it? Of course, it never really came up in conversation, but still, I mean, it's one of the big things I'm doing with my life. I spend a lot of time on it and energy on it, and I love it. It's one of my loves, and I adore it to death, So why don't I talk about it with the people I love? Why not? And I think there's maybe 2-3 people in my life that know that I do these channels, and a lot of them I met on the channel. So that doesn't make any sense. Oh God. All right. So yeah, that's something that I really want us to start getting better at. Now, of course, as I said with this, it's about practice. It's not going to come naturally to us because we don't like talking about ourselves and we don't like bragging. But this is not really bragging, guys. Bragging is talking about things that are shitty, but you're just building them up. If you're doing amazing things, then talking about it is not bragging, it's sharing. You're sharing your accomplishments with the world. Tell the people in your life, especially the people who love you, what you're doing with your life. It's okay to share that. They're not going to think of it as bragging. And if they do, then don't share that with that person anymore. Share it with the people who care about it. Now, my friend, even if I tell her the smallest of things I'm doing, she'll be excited about it. All right. And so Not that I do share small things with her, but that's the kind of people, those are the kind of people you need to share with. They are the ones who are going to be excited for you, and they're going to make you feel more excited about the things you're doing. Once I started talking to her about my YouTube channel, I was so excited about it. I talked to her for hours on end, well, an hour or two an hour, and I got excited about it. I got pumped about my own channel because of the fact that I was talking to her about it, and she was so excited about it, and she's an extrovert, so she transmitted all this amazing energy to me. And I went back and I did like 3 videos in a row, and I was so pumped about it, and I made a bunch of lists of things I want to change about my channel and improve. And so that's the reason we talk about things. So people can give us idea, they can support us, they can make us feel better about ourselves, they can keep us going on this journey that we're on. That's the reason we're social beings, okay? Otherwise we could live in a cave somewhere and not interact with anyone. And even though that's possible for us for a few years, maybe a few months, maybe, eventually you have to come back into the real world and talk to people and tell them what you're doing, okay? Again, I hope this makes sense to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys want to support me further because you like my videos or you think that I'm cool in some way, you can do that by going to my Patreon site. The link is in the description below. And I shall see you guys the next time around. Bye for now.